The object of Taxi Chronicles is to allow real riders with real stories, share their experience and enhance your life. So sit back and enjoy the journey. Morning. Yes, we're back with another episode, another rider. Today we have the honour and the privilege of having someone who's been brought up in Taiwan as well as England. And we're just going to find out about Taiwan and really what's going on and see what her experience has been like. Nice to have you here today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. So tell us, you were born in Taiwan or born in England?
No, I was born in England, moved to Taiwan when I was 6, and then moved back again back to England when I was 13. So I was there for about 6 years.
Okay. How did do you remember life in Taiwan?
Oh yeah, very, very vividly.
What was it like for you?
It was quite difficult, I think, in some ways. We lived in Kaohsiung, which is the second biggest city in Taiwan. Mm-hmm. I went to a normal, kind of average school, local school, and I was the only white kid in the whole school.
Would they class you as white? You're dual heritage, aren't you?
Yeah, they
looked at you as white.
Yeah, I think because I look white, they kind of just assumed I was white. So I think like one of my first weeks there, I remember this boy coming up to me, and he must have been quite a few years older, and then he pulled my nose because it's pointy. And he was saying pointy nose.
Okay.
But I think you just kind of, take it with a pinch of salt. It's fine, you know.
And what, was he laughing? Or?
Yeah.
What did you do?
I think I was kind of more just shocked than anything. But I don't think I really knew what it meant at the time, so I just kind of laughed and then... What did
it mean?
That's kind of what a lot of Chinese would call white people, like pointy nose, because white people have more pronounced nose.
Alright, so did it take time to settle in?
Yeah, definitely. I think probably about a year it took to settle in.
Did you know the language?
I did, because my mum spoke to me in Mandarin since birth, but I did need to learn like the alphabet.
Oh, so they speak the Chinese dialect?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, no wonder Chinese are saying we want you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just another extension, another bow to the string.
Yeah. So yeah, I learnt like the alphabet. I think my mum gave me like a month's crash course before I started school to try and cram it in. But yeah, school was very different there though, so I did primary school there. But listening to a lot of my friends that grew up in the UK, it sounded so nice doing primary school here. A lot of like colouring and Legos and stuff. But we started school at like 7:30, finished at 4:30.
It's a long day.
It was a very long day, and then you went to cram school after school as well.
Was learning more stuff?
Yeah, like basically like tutoring kind of, but every single kid did it.
Just on automatic? Yeah,
because it was that competitive that you had to do that or else you'd fall behind. So yeah, pretty much everyone after school would then go to cram school until about 9 o'clock at night and then go home and start the day again.
Okay, it's a long day. So is it 5 days a week school? Or?
Yeah, 5 days a week.
Okay.
But just very high, like intense pressure though.
Did you do any sports or anything?
I swam when I was in Taiwan, so I did swimming.
Swimming there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did go to, I think, some competitions as well.
Was it pool swimming or?
Pool swimming, yeah.
Are they good swimmers?
Generally, no, not really, but it's just surprising because it is an island, so they probably should really learn how to swim.
So does that mean you as women winning most of the competitions?
I did, yeah. I was quite good.
And did you get respect from the other people, or were they jealous?
I don't know if I did get respect.
So after that year, did you have like a set of friends
and? Yeah, I think I had people I'd hang out with. But the thing is as well, every 2 years you change a class and change a teacher. So once you made friends for 2 years, then it would all switch up again, and then you'd start again, kind of thing.
So surely the class just moves up a year, or did?
Yeah, it would move up a year, but then all the students would be switched about My primary school that I went to was huge. I think we had like 3,000 kids in this one school. So yeah, they'd switch it about every 2 years. But I did make a few friends that I'm still in contact with today.
So why did they? Do you know why they?
I'm not too sure.
Mixed up the children.
Don't know.
Probably. Okay. So Taiwan's a democracy.
It is, yeah.
Okay. What's the culture like in comparison to London? Is it vastly different?
I'd say it's quite similar in a way because Taiwan is quite multicultural. Because you have a mix between. We have a lot of history with like Japan, obviously China, a lot of kind of influence from America as well, and now I think maybe Korea as well, a lot of influence, and because you get a lot of foreign workers from Southeast Asia, so you also have the mix of like Thai, Vietnamese, Filipinos, you know.
So in the sense of Asia, it's cosmopolitan.
Very, very much so, yeah. And it's also the first country, I think, in Asia to like legalise same-sex marriage. So it is quite a progressed society.
Not gonna last long when China gets there.
No, definitely not.
That's going to go out the window.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's an interesting one. So, what's your? You talk to people back in Taiwan.
Yeah.
Obviously, current affairs. People bombing Taiwan, or sorry, not correction.
Yeah.
China's flying fighter jets over Taiwan, scaring them. What's your friends say about that? Have they spoken? What's happening on the ground?
I think there's definitely a big generational gap because, like with my family, I think they kind of just put their head in the sand and they ignore it. And I think that's just kind of how it's always been for them. That it's some, you know, it's another issue really. I think with my generation, we do feel a bit more passionate about like independence and democracy.
So it's a bit like a Ukraine situation.
Yeah.
Where the older generation are like, well, we're Russian, what's the problem? And the younger generation, no, we need to be Ukrainian.
Yeah.
Okay, so listen, if you know what I know, you probably stay Russian. It's gonna be better for us. Shut up, man. Shut up. You're gonna get us all killed. Okay. But what are the things that you love about Taiwan?
The food. The food in Taiwan is incredible. People travel specifically for the food, like from Japan. They'll go there for dinner and then fly back again.
What kind of food is it? Assuming it's a mix of all meats and various fishes and what have you.
Very Chinese based.
Is it like spicy?
Can get spicy, yeah.
So it's similar, sweet and sour, spicy, and all those.
Yeah, with a hint of also Japanese and American in there. So it's very different.
Give us a brief history of Taiwan.
So, Taiwan was originally connected with China, but then the Chinese Civil War happened.
I didn't know that.
So the nationalists fought the communists.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You know what my history's telling.
That's right.
No. Why not? You know what? I didn't even think of that as a civil war, but it was a civil war.
Yeah.
I knew about that campaign. Being ex-military man. But it obviously, it's an uprising civil war. Yeah. Go on.
So then the nationalists then lost in China, but then they fled to Taiwan and took Taiwan as theirs. And then the communists kind of took over the whole of China.
So who was in Taiwan prior to the nationalists?
Chinese. So like my family, for instance, I think we came over back in like the 1700s. So we were just ordinary Chinese citizens living in Taiwan. When the nationalists came, they then claimed Taiwan and claimed all the people on it. They weren't really the best because we had indigenous people in Taiwan as well.
That's what I was what I was getting at. Who are the indigenous people?
So they're like Polynesian, South Pacific Polynesian kind of people.
What are they like Fujian?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. So I think there's like 12 tribes in Taiwan, but they all got chased up into the mountains by the nationalists when they arrived.
So was it your country that was killing them. I saw some documentary where the soldiers
Yeah.
were going in, I think.
Yeah, the nationalists were quite brutal, really.
Are they still doing it today?
No, there's a lot more recognition. I think because Taiwan are trying to build up this like identity that's separated from China, they're also trying to incorporate like the indigenous culture to then separate them from China even more. If you know what I mean?
Okay, so it's a political strategy.
Yeah.
So, all right, we were killing you, but we kind of need you now.
Yeah, so we'll be nice
can
to
you
you.
forget that?
Yeah.
please? And, okay. All right, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But then like the US recognised Taiwan as China from the Civil War, so around the Second World War up until the 70s, where they then changed from recognising Taiwan to actually recognising Communist China as the real China. So then that's where it kind of all changed.
Right, you lost me there.
Yeah.
So,
America didn't recognise Communist China
yeah,
up until the 70s.
yeah,
They recognised China as being Taiwan.
yeah. But
Yeah.
now, does America recognise Taiwan as being Taiwan?
Yes, but they can't say that publicly. But they recognise Communist China as being China. But they kind of say, well, we do recognise Taiwan, but we don't really because that would piss China off.
So why does China?
Mm-hmm.
What is it about them why they want Taiwan?
Well, because Xi Jinping sees it as a breakaway province that was broken away by the nationalists and should be taken back into China.
So it's just ego. It's not like they have natural resources.
No, not really. It's a tiny little island. The whole length of it, to go from right at the bottom to the top, takes about 4 hours to drive. So
And that's on a good road.
yeah.
Okay, not a country road.
No, that's like motorway.
Yeah.
So it's not big at all. So it is completely down to ego and identity.
Okay. So you learn something every day. What can Taiwan learn from London, and what can London learn from Taiwan?
Yeah, there's a lot more, I think, community spirit, looking after your neighbours in Taiwan. It's a lot more communal, I think. So I think London could probably learn from that.
Okay.
But I think Taiwan also should learn, being okay with diversity, I think, because I think that's still something we're all struggling with that around the world, but particularly I think in Taiwan, because they haven't been so exposed really to the rest of the world that they're not familiar with. I think they could probably learn from that.
That's very interesting. And my last question to you is, what's the impact you want to have in the world with all your knowledge and your experience? What's the impact you want to have in the world?
I do very strongly believe that Taiwan should be independent, and I think that if I could do anything, that would be on my top priority of trying to do something to make sure that happens.
Well, they're going to be a tough battle. So I don't know what the population of Taiwan is. We're fighting 1.5 billion people.
It's big difference.
It's gonna be, an elephant squashing an ant.
Yeah.
Of thing.
Oh, definitely.
But we wish you well.
Thank you.
Well, thanks a lot for that. We hope that episode enhanced your life. We post an interview every day, as well as vlogging on our social media channels. Don't forget to subscribe to get our latest episode.